Hey, thank you guys for tuning in today for another conversation about resilience. Have you ever had an out-of-body experience? I guess like a near-death event? No? I have. I'd say about 2 or 3 times over the past several decades. Once during or just before the stroke and surgery event. Once during a quadruple heart bypass surgery. And one other time in a dream that I cannot recall right now, but I know I had it. I can't remember when that happened. But I remember the feeling and the existence on 3 separate times. I'll get into them, each of them, in summary and shortly. But just for some context on the conversation. But if you have not experienced an out-of-body thing, an out-of-body experience, I guess we could include the application of spirits and poisons or edibles for this discussion. But wait. Before I reflect on that, I may have had a 4th out-of-body to add on to the conversation. Right. Dr. Paco. He could attest to the edible event, but maybe I won't get into that today. But if you have any questions, contact Dr. Paco. He'll tell you about it. Maybe another time. So let's stick with the 3 known or remembered out-of-body experiences for today. As I said, if you haven't had one, that does not have relevance to this talk today. Not required for us to have this conversation today. But let's pretend that you can have one right now, an out-of-body experience. You know, almost like overnight Amazon delivery. And you can have one fairly quickly in this moment without any additives of smoke or drink or edibles. So imagine for yourself, your consciousness eases or leaks out of you, and now you find yourself above your physical body. This is your spirit and soul view, if you will. There you are, hovering above and about your still alive physical body, but you can see it. Let's not say dead or incapacitated. You, still alive and walking and talking and doing whatever you do daily in a moment-to-moment observation. But in this scenario, you are viewing you physically from a view spiritually, yet above and outside of your still moving physical body. You got that image, that context? Cool. Now, remember, I promise to change your perspective on the present moment. So, given that proposition and position for this view of you, how would you assess your body of work, your progression in your mission and message and delivered purpose to date and to now? In this scenario, this example I'm giving you, you get a bird's eye view, literally, of your own progress or digression from what you were insisted to do here. Have you only chosen to exist out here? Because perhaps you chose not to exist spiritually and here where you are physically, but not spiritually connected to yourself or to your creator. Meaning you haven't committed to the whole staying present and discovering and delivering on what drives you. By the way, the main subject of the 820 Enterprise and the daily guidance for you. This exercise maybe, hypothetically, provides you with a glimpse of yourself, a different view of yourself, a different perspective of yourself. Maybe consider this connection: a view from your Creator. Maybe. Not after the by and by of your physical death. I mean the witness and observation of every minute and second, every moment in each day in this scenario I just outlined for you. That your Creator notices what you do or don't do in accordance with or at variance with what you have chosen as what does drive you. Now, we may disagree on this assessment or determination of how you perceive and execute on your daily delivered value. That maybe you believe your life gets weighed and balanced out and rewarded or punished at the so-called end of your life. And maybe you don't agree with the heaven and hell on earth each day and moments within that day we get to live. Maybe you don't agree with that. But it is what we get one day at a time to live. I hope this hypothetical viewpoint can change your perspective on this present moment and maybe moves your resilience, how you determine what it means to you, moving positively forward towards your daily perfect and best while you live fully as you step forward one day at a time, one moment at a time towards your best approach and existence in heaven on this earth, and with the least vanity and arrogance, also known as hell, on the same earth where we live and die each day. Yes, you are perfect, your completeness, and in the process of your completing, that is the delivery of your message and purpose while you live, while you love, until you cannot. This conversation and analogy does not support the fictional notion of separateness or separation of your physical from your spiritual, from you and from the power and force that created you, or the separation of heaven and hell on the same earth, as in here and now and not later or after or like tomorrow over there. No, I make this effort to refute that traditional or imposed mystery of a heavenly or hellish determination on this current body of work in progress. Let's get on with this work now and not later. Let's make resilience exist as the best representation of the presence you can share. And while you have this body to exist in, maybe this sort of out-of-body effort is not as scary as we tend to make it out to be in our heads. Because our hearts know nothing of the separation. Stay present, stay in the current, wherever you find yourself today, in this moment. Tell yourself, it is always 8